Magandang umaga mga ka-ADAP pamilya. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagtutok sa aming ikalawang episode ng Kapihan at Usapang ADAP or Kuya in short. Ako po ang inyong host, Dr. Ron Elepanyo or simpleng Kuya Doc. Para sa aming second episode ng Kapihan at Usapang ADAP or Kuya, ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon ay caregiver experience. At upang maintindihan natin ito ng mabuti, pero tayo mga inimbitahang maayos na resource person. At sila ay mga board members ng ADAP at matagal na silang miyembro ng ADAP na lagi namin linalapitan para sa mga caregiver needs namin dahil sila ay mga at tinaguri ang mga experts. I'd like to introduce to you Ma'am Jackie and Opel de Assis. Bigyan natin sila ng masiganong palakpakan. So, thank you very much Jackie and Opel for joining us this wonderful morning and or afternoon or evening wherever you are tuning in to this episode. Bago tayo magsimula, gusto ko lang munang malaman paano ba kayo na-involved in the being a caregiver for Alzheimer's patients and how did you become involved in our organization, ADAP?
Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ako ang isa sa mga family caregivers na imbitahan dito ang Jackie de Assis. Na-involve kami sa caregiver duties ng Alzheimer's. Noon pong mapansin namin na may kakaibang nagiging ang mami namin. Back in 1992, wala pang mga doktor or clinic or center na nag-specialize sa Alzheimer's disease. So, pag pina-check up namin siya sa kanyang neurologist, sila ang nagsasabi na yun nga, parang may symptoms siya ng Alzheimer's. And then, that was back in 1992. And then in year 2000, nagkaroon na ng memory center sa St. Luke's, Quezon City. And that time, naipa-check up namin siya kaagad doon. So, na-analyze siya ng mga experts na doktor. Ang naging doktor niya doon si Dr. Socorro Martinez. Nagkataon naman siya ang presidente ng Alzheimer's Disease Association of the Philippines. So, inimbita nila kami na ma-involve para nga matuto rin kami, magabayan nila kami sa what to expect. Kasi mahabang biyahe daw yan, may mga stages daw yan. So during that time, year 2000, nasa early stage pa lang si Mami noon. So yun. And since then, involved na kami sa ADAP.
So it must be an experience for the family considering yun nga, early stage pa lang, anong petsa na ngayon? Ano ba tong mga stages na ito? Opel, pause muna tayo ha. Okay, so ano nga yung proseso ng may Alzheimer's dahil nga may mga stages at maaga pa lang na-diagnose mami nyo. So ano ba itong mga stages na pinagdaanan ninyo at na-experience ninyo, Opel?
Magandang hapon, Doc Ron, and magandang hapon sa who are joining us from this webinar. Ako po si Opel de Assis. I am the youngest daughter of Felicissima de Assis. My sister Jackie spoke earlier as to how we were involved in ADAP. So, as the youngest in the family, and maybe I had that skill of trying to be able to document the journey of my mom with Alzheimer's disease, I was able to prepare this simple summary of ano yung mga stages that my mom went through and the entire family went through in as far as Alzheimer's disease is concerned. She was diagnosed in 1992 as mentioned, so she's effectively an Alzheimer's disease patient for 28 years now, and 11 years of which she was already bedridden and on the stage 4. So before I go into stage 4, we actually went through what we call light and easy stage. This is the typical stage of makakalimutin lang, if we can describe it. But I think that what's important on this stage is we did not ignore it. We went through getting the help of doctor like Dr. Martinez, and we got involved in ADAP as well, so that we learn what about this makakalimutin or extreme na makakalimutin. This actually started at the time my dad passed away in 1992, and she seemed to be not able to move on from that stage, and that triggered yung extreme makakalimutin. Before that, medyo makakalimutin na, pero medyo na-trigger faster with the death of our dad. So, nung napansin namin yan, we sought the help of professionals, we read a lot about Alzheimer's disease and we learned about it, that it's very important for this disease to be accepted by the whole family. That she was not the same mom or lola that we used to know, and that we have to adjust ourselves into this disease. And I call it light and easy because masaya po pa tong stage na to, kasi di pa pag medyo may makakalimutin sa bahay, medyo tatawa tayo sa mga
Ito po yung ibang ginagawa.
Oo, pero at easy pa kasi at this stage wala po kaming professional caregiver, wala kaming nurse. Kami lang po itong nag-aalaga, pati mga apo po nag-aalaga, mga pamangkin.
So tulong-tulong lahat.
Po. We are blessed with a big family, 7 po kaming magkapatid, and ang maganda niyan, lahat kami babae. Oo, kaya pala maganda din po yung mga babae lahat. May natural care.
Maraming anak.
Oo. So, yun po ang first stage. Mga mga 5 taon sa 28 years, 3, 4, 5 taon. And then we move to the next stage, we call it question and answer. Ito na po yung medyo talagang paulit-ulit na yung sinasabi niya, may stage na kailangan mo na siyang hanapan ng kausap. Kasi not only na malilimutin siya, she doesn't seem to make a concise statement anymore, or statement that a typical person will do. So, at this stage, medyo kinuhaan na po namin siya ng talagang dedicated na yaya. Yaya lang naman. At hindi talagang caregiver. Kasi that time, hindi pa din naman ganun ka-available ang mga caregivers. Para example niyan, sa makulit na stage na yan, yung pag nagro-rosaryo siya, kung anong misteryo, sasabihin niya, tatanungin ka niya, anong araw ngayon? Kada misteryo. So,
pero natatapos naman yung rosaryo.
Natatapos niya, pero kada misteryo, bago siya lumipat, tatanungin niya, anong araw ngayon? Pero alam niya kung anong misteryo. Ganon.
Kung sa light and easy acceptance yung mahalaga, sa simulang-simula, tanggapin natin na may naiba, may sakit, at hindi siya normal. Sa question and answer portion po, ang pinakangkey namin dito is patience and understanding. Dito na nagsimula yung mag-take ng patient's medicine. We call it 2,000 milligram of patience. Actually, nagsimula 1,000 milligram na. Pero as we go along, nag-increase to 2,000 milligram. But that's because you need the patients to be able to understand the situation. And at this point, we have some practical tips that we learned, and we would like to share with you. At dito po sa stage na to, importante na yung living conditions niya are safe. Because kung hindi po safe yung living condition niya, yung kakulitan niya, pwede siyang mapahamak or madisgrasya. In fact, it was at this stage when we actually lost our mom in the streets of Espanya. Kasi nagkamali siya ng liko sa street. So, talagang kami pasalamat sa Diyos at siya'y natagpuan. Meron kami guardian angel at Good Samaritan who brought her to the UST Hospital Emergency Room.
And I think it's a very common problem for patients who are struggling with Alzheimer's, yung wandering behavior na pwede talaga silang mawala. Ano ba yung naging technique nyo doon para maiwasan na maulit yon? Sabi mo nga, safety first, di ba? Ano yung naging nagbago doon sa arrangement nyo sa bahay nung nangyari yun?
Ay dedicated na yaya na po. Dati kasi nakikishare lang kami ng yaya ng sister ko na nag-aalaga din ng bata. So talagang kinuhaan ko na siya na yun lang ang, kinuhaan na namin siya ng yun lang ang trabaho, 24/7.
Bantayan siya.
At yung apartment po, medyo syempre inayos yung mga locks at saka inayos din yung, meron din kaming driver na napapakisuyuhan, si Mang Tex, na parang nagiging security guard sa gate. Kasi kaano naman po yun, parang kalat-kalat sa kalsada. So, yun po, nag-seek help. I guess that's the keyword. We sought help from the people around. Because kami, nasa opisina po kami. And that was the stage that we were growing our careers, our respective careers, and overtime sa work. So talagang mahirap isipin na baka mawala siya ulit. So we make all those adjustments sa house. It also helps that our dad was a military man. So medyo sanay kami sa konting disiplina sa bahay pag kinakailangan. So we tightened it. We tightened the
security.
Pero
I think this is also interesting kasi the assumption din, madalas na pagkakamala na o pag nag-aalaga, hindi parang 100% of the time dun lang mabubuwas ang oras mo. Paano na yung career mo? Paano na yung buhay mo? Pero kayo, I think that's a good example and I think an inspiration for a lot of those caring for someone with Alzheimer's that life can still move forward post-diagnosis.
Yes, very much so.
Definitely.
So it's, I guess, proper time management and a routine. You will see it later in my presentation. But in this stage, we already started drawing a proper routine for her. Routine does helps kasi kahit nasa opisina ka, mamomonitor mo yung nangyayari sa bahay. And of course, the technology comes along with that time na uso na yung cellphone. Meron ng easy call, Viber. Ay, hindi pa Viber, beeper. Beeper with that time. So it helps. There were some technologies that were available. And after the makulit stage, she actually moved on to the health wanted stage or mabagal na po. Ito na yung nagsimula na siyang wheelchair bound. Hindi na siya yung magagamit lahat yung kanyang motors of the body. As in dati nakakapag-mall kami na naglalakad lang siya even sa stage 1 and sa stage 3 wini-wheelchair na namin siya sa mall. Kasi talagang sobrang magka-create ng posisyon sa mall pagkasusunod kami sa kanya kasi marami kaming pamilya pag nagsisimba ng linggo. At this stage po talagang you have to invest on a wheelchair, you have to invest on all the other things that goes with the wheelchair, including proper way of carrying her to and from the wheelchair. Puro babae po kami sa bahay dati, so kaya kailangan humingi din ng tulong para
I think not a lot of people realize na akala nila pag bumili ka ng wheelchair, gano'n na yun Hindi ba? Merong tamang paraan ng pag-upo, pagtayo, pagpaandar ng wheelchair. And also, may fitness din, di ba?
Oo. And pag nasa labas kayo, kasi kahit na ganitong stage siya talaga, isinisimba namin siya, inilalabas namin siya kasi it helps her brain activity. Siyempre, pagpasok sa CR, hindi mo ma-avoid mag-CR and all that. Kakain. So, may iba-ibang paraan ng maraming nangyayaring pagbabago the way you travel and the way you spend time with her pag naka-wheelchair na siya. So that's why we have this particular stage. And during this stage, from anticipation to patience and understanding, we add one more which called sense of anticipation. Kasi hindi mo na alam, hindi na rin siya masyadong nagsasalita at this point, hindi na nagme-make sense din. So you have to anticipate kung ano na yung mga pangangailangan niya, anong kailangan niya pag tatayo siya, kung kakain siya, kung lalabas kayo, at kung may kailangan gawin other than the typical activity of eating, sleeping, and standing up and sitting down. So, itong time na to, nadagdagan na yung list namin ng doctors. Kasi dati cardio lang, tsaka neurologist lang. Dahil siya ay mabagal na at hindi na masyadong nagkikilos, kailangan na namin makipagkilala sa pulmonologist. Kasi ito na po yung nagsimula na po siya nagkaroon ng pneumonia. Kasi this time, very limited yung movement niya. At itong stage na to po, I am very proud na nakapag-celebrate pa po siya ng 75th birthday niya sa probinsya namin.
Anong probinsya ito?
Sa Quezon.
Kaway-kaway, mga taga-Quezon na nakikinig, mga taga-Lucena.
Oo, nakapag-invite pa po kami ng kanyang mga co-teacher, yung principal nila. Naka-wheelchair na siya nito. But at this
teacher
point,
siya ng high school.
Teacher po kasi siya. So, ang stage na to maraming nabago. Nakilala namin ang different kinds of doctors, the different ways of attending to an emergency, like yung mga handy kits ng pang-BP, pang-oximeter, etc. And also, nakilala na rin namin si Lifeline Arrows. Kasi itong stage na po na to, there was a particular stage na nagkaroon siya ng transient ischemic attack, yung mabilis lang daw na stroke. We were living in a condominium then, so kailangan ibaba siya from the 3rd floor. And those are some practical tips that the moment you find her in this stage, you already have to know the emergency procedures in case may mangyayari. And one of which is, of course, the help of an ambulance service such as Lifeline Arrows and doctors in the hospital that kinokonsulta namin. So, itong stage na to is, although medyo humirap na ng konti at kasi nga binubuhat-buhat na siya, kami ay natutuwa na we were able to get the help we need. Kaya in stage, I label it as help wanted at this stage. And it's very important that you seek help. Kasi mahirap po pag in-ignore nyo at akala'y naiwan tayo sa light and easy stage. Kawawa din po siya kasi hindi na po niya kayang i-anticipate yung needs niya. So, she was able to celebrate 75th birthday at this stage.
And maganda rin i-share na dyan sa stage na yan, yung hindi namin siya yung itatago sa ibang tao, we let other people know of her condition. Na kung bisitahan niya yung kanyang co-teacher, magtataka bakit ganun. Sasabihin namin yung kondisyon. And other people do not know yet the term Alzheimer's. May ganun pala, sasabihin nila. So, nagtatanong sila, ano ang nangyayari sa kanya? Ganyan, ayan pala ay sakit, ganun. So, natututunan din nila na yung palang ganong stage ng pangyayari sa isang tao ay sakit. Hindi siya normal na dahil lang akala nila, ay inatake ba? Kaya naka-wheelchair. Ganyan. So, we also explain to friends, to relatives, yung condition niya. Minsan, sinusubuan siya sa pagkain. Makikita mo, bakit siya sinusubuan? Hindi naman siya paralyzed. Yun, dyan sa stage na yan, ganon. Kailangan mo na siyang i-explain to other people.
Yes. So, we actually went along with the 4th stage and we called it All That I Can. Ito na yung mahina na po siya. Na-bedridden na po siya at this stage. And she got bedridden after having 4 pneumonia attack. And may kahalong stroke yung pneumonia. So, after nailabas namin siya in 2009, bedridden na po siya. We thought this is the last stage kasi nga parang nakapeg na siya yung tube feeding, nakahiga na. How else can we enjoy life with her? And ako po yung talagang natutuwa na i-share sa inyo na even at this stage, nakapag-celebrate po siya ng birthday with Jollibee around.
Wow.
Yung niya.
Inimbita po kami sa bahay si Jollibee.
Literally, second childhood.
Oo, talagang kasi yun na lang ang kaya niyang gawin, ang hawakan ang kamay mo, hindi na po siya nagsasalita. Hawakan na lang ang kamay mo, lilinga-linga, titingin-tingin. Sa stage lang po, ngumingiti, tumatawa pagka ginugulat. Totally no conversation at all. And that's the stage you will miss from stage 1, 2, and 3. It's the conversation, even if it doesn't make sense in the stage 1, 2, and 3. Pag nawala siya totally na hindi ka na niya kakausapin, yun yung medyo it struck you na, ibang stage na to. And ang maganda niyan is we were somehow ready with it because sa kakanood namin ng mga pelikula din at saka sa kakabasa ng mga, at saka kapag-usap sa doktor. So, masakit siya pero napaghandaan, natutunang mag-adjust. And parang at sa pamilya namin, ang importante na lang is that she is safe, she is comfortable. Andun na yung patience, andun yung understanding, andun yung acceptance. Andun na po yung may routine na kami. Dalawa na po ang nag-aalaga sa kanya kasi I had to get na a nurse kasi nga of the tube feeding. At yun, may nadagdag ulit sa listahan ng doktor called gastrologist kasi nga po of the hindi na siya nakakakain sa mouth. In fact, one of the cause nung pagkaka-choke niya is because yung kumakain siya sa mouth. Pero yun nga, we still make her life safe, simple, and comfortable at this stage. Ito yung aalalahanin mo na lang yung mga happy times you together and you make her smile. Kahit po hindi niya kami kinakausap po namin siya. I think nakakatulong na madadaldal kami lahat at babae. At yung mga pamangkin ko at ako ay kinukulit siya. Nakakadagdag po yung nagre-react siya sa mga naririnig niya kahit hindi siya salita but just the roll of the eyes and sometimes tumatawa ng malakas at yun nga yung hawak sa kamay. So itong stage na to is kung dadating sa stage na to ay hindi dapat ikalungkot. Mahirap, papahirap ng papahirap. Pero I think what's important to know is you just have to be happy and thankful she reached this stage. And that she's still with us. And tayong nakakaintindi, tayong malakas, tayo na lang yung nag-a-adjust sa kanya. So at this stage, in addition to gastrologist, in addition to a nurse around, we had to get all the other things like suction machine, the
nebulizing machine.
We had to have oxygen in the house, at saka talagang kailangan po ay marunong kaming lahat mag-take ng BP, mag-suction kasi the emergency can happen anytime. And true enough, naranasan po namin yung talagang nagsisikip yung kanyang paghinga because of pneumonia na we were caught in a traffic in Shaw Boulevard going to Cardinal Santos Hospital. So I think at this stage, in addition to all of the gadgets that you have, everyone has to have the presence of mind. What to do in an emergency. I label it all that I can because yun na lang ang kaya niyang gawin. And we were happy to let you know that she actually moved to a stage 5 after the 4th pneumonia attack in about 3 years ago. Tinawag na namin siyang stage 4, at least in the flow of
This is just in a personal experience.
Based on personal experience, alam ko iba yung stages sa medical. All that I can still do is precious to us. Ngayon po, like this morning, I video her every morning, every time she rolled her eyes. Kasi importanteng event na sa amin yung mag-roll lang siya ng eyes. So the condition hasn't changed much, except for nabunutan siya ng lahat ng ngipin niya just a year ago because nagkaroon na ng problem. Pero we were also lucky to have good doctors na dentista na dagdag na sa aming listahan. At yun na lang ang na-change, pero yung routine niya is pretty much stable since stage 4 going to stage 5. She's being taken care of by a nurse and a caregiver 24/7. Routine, may proper routine na, and the medicines are there. She has her checkup every year. Every time papalitan siya ng peg, she has to go to the hospital, and tinitake advantage namin yun to let's say her ECG, her X-ray, and all the things, routine checkup with all of her doctors. So yun po yung mga stages, and ang huling statement po that I'd like to share with you is this statement that I have at the bottom. Be it just a simple smile, a good appetite, are able to sit and participate in family events, and as simple as being awake all day until her sleeping time, or as basic as having a regular bowel movement, good vital signs. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Thank you, Miss Opel. Thank you. That was such a wonderful, experience that you were able to share with us. And I'd like to, of course, tell our viewers today that these are such precious life pearls that we can learn from the Assis sisters, and hopefully we could gain more knowledge from them. Thank you very much, Opel and Jackie, for those wonderful words of wisdom and actually life experience that nobody could have imagined. This is better than what you read in the books kasi iba yung nabasa, iba yung na-experience, and as they say, experience can sometimes be the best teacher. And of course, you are also guided by a lot of these professionals around you at tumulong-tulong para mas maging maganda ang pag-aalaga kay mommy ninyo. So, with that, we end our episode. Pero babalik kayo in our next episode. Itutuloy natin yung kwento with ano ba ang secret sa pag-aalaga, lalo na't andito na kayo sa stage na ito. 28 years and counting, di ba? So, ano ba ang secret? Yan ang susunod nating episode. But before we say goodbye, any final words from Jackie and Opel?
Maraming salamat po sa pakikinig. Abangan ang secrets in the next episode.
How about you, Jackie?
Kitang-kita po ulit tayo sa susunod na episode. Maraming kwento.
At dyan nagtatapos ang isang informative na usapan. Abangan ang susunod na episode sa pamamagitan ng pag-like at follow na ang Facebook page. Sa muli nating Kapihan at Usapang ADAP, ito po ang inyong lingkod, Kuya Doc. Have a good day. Bye!